If the save percentage starts with a 7, you probably aren't winning that game. What's up, Caps fans? Now, I want to start off by saying that this is not going to be a blame the goalie episode, right? But rather, we are just going to talk the reality of the situation, which is that you need some saves if you want to win an NHL hockey game. Tonight, a 6-3 loss to the New Jersey Devils. It probably should have at least gone to overtime. Like, it was a pretty evenly played game. The shots were pretty even, 28 for the Devils and 26 for the Caps. And the Caps were playing the second half of a back-to-back again while the Devils were fully rested. So I do give the Caps a lot of credit for staying in this one and battling and trying to pull at least a standings point out of it. They easily could have given up when the Devils jumped out to their 2-0 lead. They easily could have given up again when the Devils went up 3-1, but they didn't. They didn't give up. And I'm not going to sit here and blame a rookie goaltender in Hunter Shepard, who's played now, counting tonight, a grand total of 4 NHL hockey games. I'm just not going to do it. Especially since he has generally been very good for us most of the times that he has been called upon. He's 2-1-1 now after tonight's game, but you could definitely easily argue that record should read 3-1-0, as he was the starter in that game against the Nashville Predators that the Caps ended up losing in a shootout after getting completely jobbed by the War Room in Toronto and the referees. Taking away that game-winning goal by Alex Ovechkin with less than a minute left in regulation. So that ends up being a shootout loss. It should have been a regulation win. Hunter Shepard should be 3-1-0 in his NHL career so far. So yeah, a guy who, like I said, he's played 4 NHL games now in his entire life. And like I said, without that undue interference by the league, by the officials, he would be 3-1-0. He would have won 3 of those 4 games. So I'm not going to sit here and blame a rookie goaltender who has played very well for us, generally. And obviously as well, he's one of the AHL's best goaltenders, backstopping the Hershey Bears to another Calder Cup championship last season, and winning the award for the AHL playoff MVP in the process as well. So he is a very, very, very talented goaltender, and he has won everywhere that he has ever been. And obviously, he's young, he's a rookie. So I'm not going to, like I said, sit here and shit on him for this loss. I'm just not going to do it. So if you want that, go somewhere else, go to another channel. I'm not doing it here. But I am just trying to be consistent, right? Because I have been giving Darcy Kuemper a hard time for some of the goals that he's been letting in. Rightfully so. He deserves that criticism, let's be honest. But, I have been giving Darcy Kuemper a hard time for some of the goals that he's been letting in. And so I do want to be consistent here and do the same when it is Hunter Shepard and not Darcy Kuemper in net. Now, obviously, you do hold Darcy Kuemper to a different standard at this point in their respective careers, as we should, by the way, right? As Hunter Shepard, like I said, NHL rookie, whereas Darcy Kuemper, of course, is a Stanley Cup champion, a 13-year veteran of the National Hockey League, and he has a $25 million contract and a $5 million cap hit. So frankly, he should be held to a much higher standard, as it's not an apples to oranges comparison that we're making here. But I can still be consistent in pointing out when particular goals against sucked, and some of the goals tonight sucked. That's all. You do need saves to win in this league, right? So while I'm not going to sit here and shit on a rookie tendy in Hunter Shepard, like I said, all I'm saying is that was kind of just the reality of tonight's game, to be honest, is that you do need some saves if you hope to win a hockey game in the NHL. If we run through the goals given up tonight, right? Let's do that. So it's not a great rebound on the first one. Shepard, he kind of punches it back out right to the slot. which is not ideal. Like, that's not what you want to do at all. It's actually the opposite of what you want to do. The second one is a power play goal, but it is from far out, which I have been giving Darcy Kemper shit for. So let's be consistent, right? Even though it's a rookie tendy, it's a shot from far out, it's unscreened, it's from the blue line. Like John Carlson here, he even makes a very conscious effort to get out of the lane of sight for Hunter Shepard, which is exactly what you want your defenseman to do there, to let him fully be able to see that shot from far out. And if you're John Carlson, like, you obviously expect your goaltender to stop that. The third one is not Hunter Shepard's fault. Nope. That is a high danger chance from right in the slot. The fourth one is the one that really killed me though, really, as the Caps had just come back from down by 2 goals. They were down 3-1. They tie it up 3-3. And then 46 seconds later, after they've just tied it up, like I said, and with only 16 seconds left in the period as well, Shepard lets this weak one in to give the lead right back to the Devils. And I mean, you know, like, it's a fourth liner squeaking it through your legs on the backhand. It can't happen. And then the fifth one was not Shepard's fault. It wasn't officially a power play goal, as the Devils' power play had just expired, but it was still an outnumbered situation in front of the Caps net, as our guy exiting the penalty box hadn't had time yet to get back into the play. So exiting the box, he's not back into the play yet, so it's not officially a power play goal, but it is pretty much a power play goal for the Devils there. You know, like I said, they have an outnumbered situation in front of the Capitals net. They toss the pill around a few times, and it's basically a wide open net after those few great passes in a row. So great playmaking by the Devils there. You have to kind of tip your cap and give credit where it's due as well. And certainly nothing that Shepard could do about that one. And then finally, the sixth one, that is one that Shepard would definitely like to have back as well. He kind of loses track of the puck at the side of his net. It squirts out to the front of the crease area as he was trying to block that from happening with his stick, with his paddle down there. But he misses on blocking it. And so it happens anyway that it squirts out. And then it's another goal that's squeaking through his legs there. You know, shot along the ice once again with not a lot of mustard on it. So he would like to have that one back for sure. So yeah, not exactly a banner night in the crease for Hunter Shepard. But again, I reiterate, I am not about to shit on a rookie who's playing in his 4th NHL game. Now, quickly, there were some good things, believe it or not, in this game for the Washington Capitals, namely that their offense seemed to keep some momentum from their showing in Pittsburgh yesterday. Connor McMichael scored another beautiful goal, picking the top corner past Nico Dawes. Rasmus Sandin supplied yet another primary assist on that one. That cut the Devils' lead from 2-0 to 2-1 right near the end of the first period. Then after the Devils made it 3-1 in the second period, Evgeny Kuznetsov, he scores. Finally, by the way, Kuznetsov scores off of a sweet pass from Alex Ovechkin. I honestly have no idea how Ovi was able to thread that pass through, but he makes it happen and he sends Kuzi in on a semi-breakaway, and Kuzi certainly knew what to do with it there, as he made a ridiculous move to flip the puck to himself over top of Luke Hughes' stick blade. Wow. And then he finishes it as well by beating Dawes 5-hole. So insane goal right there. All the way from the Ovechkin pass right up to Kuzi's slick finish. Ovechkin obviously gets the primary assist, and Martin Feravari had the secondary assist on that one. Then John Carlson scores a big goal on the power play with about a minute left to go in the second period, assisted by Evgeny Kuznetsov and Alex Ovechkin again. And so that had the game all tied up at 3 goals apiece, albeit briefly. So the Caps did show a lot of pushback in this game, right? On the second half of a back-to-back, like I said, you know, they kept pushing, they fought back multiple times, but ultimately, like I alluded to earlier, right? You do need your goaltender to make some saves at some point as well. So that's ultimately what it came down to tonight. The Caps did create several good other scoring chances throughout the game too that, they just didn't show up on the scoreboard, unfortunately, but they were there. Like there was one right at the end of the first period, right after the Caps had just made it 2-1 on McMichael's goal. Alex Ovechkin, he comes fucking flying in, and just frankly, I'm watching it again just now, absolutely crushes Jack Hughes, causing Hughes to turn the puck over in the Devils' defensive zone, which led directly to a huge scoring chance for the Caps with seconds left on the clock in the first period. I believe it was Nick Dowd there who rang it off of the inside of the post. Connor McMichael generated another breakaway just 15 seconds into the second period, and there was another crossbar hit as well by Evgeny Kuznetsov in the second period. So this game really easily could have gone way differently, right? Way differently. Especially if your own goaltender, like I said, could have made a few saves. But alas, it was not meant to be today. All right, Caps fans, that is it for this one. You know the drill by now. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button down below. If you really enjoyed the video, feel free to click on that subscribe button for me as well. And until next time, babes, and as always, let's go Caps.